Hey guys, just a quick little thing before I start this review. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor is an 18, and it's pretty gory and it's got some pretty nasty little bits here and there, so consider this like a forewarning before the review if you're not into that kind of thing. I'd just like to kind of warn you guys just before I start one in case it's got some stuff in there you don't like. Anyway, let's get on with it. Hey guys, what's up? My name's Kieran, I review games for GB Posters, and today we're reviewing Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor sees you playing as Talion, a ranger of Gondor who is out for revenge against the Hand of Sauron after he murdered his family. Talion himself, however, was banished from death and has found himself linked to an elvish warrior who knows nothing about himself. And now the pair of them have teamed up to take down the Hand of Sauron and kill as many Uruks along the way as they like. Before I start this review, I'm going to say one thing. This game is actually incredible. I have been playing so much of it. I didn't expect it to be this good, but it really is something special. The game plays like a combination of Assassin's Creed and the Batman Arkham series, and normally when you hear something like that, you have to be a little bit skeptical, because sometimes when you combine two great games, you're normally combining the worst aspects of the two and trying to attempt the better aspects, and probably failing in the process. But this game really is a combination of the best of both worlds. Just realised that could be a terrible joke about the gameplay aspects with a human and riff. I'm out. Sorry. Seriously though, this game combines the great aspects of both those games absolutely perfectly. You can choose to be stealthy and sneak around people and exploit their weaknesses, or you can go straight in for the combat approach and cut someone's head off. Or if you're feeling particularly special, you can just blow it up. Another thing to note about this game is it is actually harder than Assassin's Creed. Your health doesn't regenerate, so if you come out of a fight worse for wear and you come across, say, another fight, your best choice is to just run. I'll explain more as to why that's a good idea as opposed to just dying later on. One of the giant main systems of this game though is the Sauron's army system. Now Sauron's army is like a gigantic military political system within the game, and it's not as boring as it sounds. In Sauron's army there are captains and there are war chiefs, and then there are just general foot soldiers who are the mass amounts of people you're going to be killing in the game. The entire idea of the system is to find Sauron's war chiefs and captains and kill them, weakening his army while strengthening yourself. The system behind this is beautiful. Everyone is unknown to you at first until you interrogate an Uruk. Most Uruks can give you just a name and what they look like, whereas other Uruks can actually tell you about their weaknesses. Now their weaknesses can range from things such as being able to be taken down instantly by stealth finishers, or they've got a fear of burning, to sometimes just being given hints such as they'll take damage from combat finishers but will not be killed by them. The entire Sauron's army aspect of the game is fantastic, and there are loads of different ways for you to actually kill captains, such as small mini missions, or sometimes just straight up killing them. And whenever you kill a captain or a war chief, you're rewarded with a rune. These can be used to upgrade your main weapons in the game, which can just become so incredibly powerful. However, despite all this good side to Sauron's army, there is also the bad side for you. Remember before when I said that running away from combat if you're low on health is a good idea? That's because if you die, Sauron's army upgrades. All the missions featuring the captains you didn't get to play out, and Sauron's army changes. Some people might get more powerful, sometimes people might die. Everything does change. What I'm basically trying to say is, every time you die, the game rewards itself. This sometimes really does add to it, and it is so awesome. For example, if you were fighting a captain and died, and then came across the captain later on, the captain remembers you and starts insulting you for it. And this can actually also go the other way. Sometimes you can kill orcs, but then they can come back later on and they'll be like, "You killed me once, I'll kill you again."
You! Remember me, you schrock? The one you left for dead? I swore I'd find you again. Swore I'd destroy you.
I do remember playing the game at one point, and I managed to kill one guy about 6 times in a row. I think his name was Blorg, something like that. Orcs have silly names, but this entire Nemesis system is just so well thought out, and it's so cool. However, despite the fact I have praised the game a lot, it does have a few issues here and there. There are beasts in the game known as Caragors, and these are sort of like wargs. Just sort of made me realise if I talk about this to someone who doesn't know about the Tolkienverse, that's most likely going to sound really weird. Let's go with giant angry dog things from hell that aren't Cerberus because they only have one head. That rolls off the tongue. Back onto the point at hand, Caragors are a real pain in the arse to fight. You can't really attack them head on because they start countering your attacks, and you can't counter theirs until you reach a point quite further on in the story. They also deal massive amounts of damage, and they are just such a pain to fight. I understand Monolith really wanted to hammer home the entire you are technically mortal kind of thing, but Caragors just really come across as a bit of a pain in the ass. My other main gripe with the game is actually aiming executions as part of a hit streak. This is kind of a problem I had with Batman in general, considering the entire combat system is ripped from it, but sometimes aiming executions is actually incredibly difficult. Sometimes you'll end up instantly killing some random Uruk when you actually just wanted to inflict quite a bit of damage onto a warlord or a captain or something like that. Like I said though, it's just a minor gripe in an overall fantastic game. Overall, I do recommend this game. If you love the Tolkienverse, it's definitely worth getting. Monolith poured a lot of heart and soul into the lore, and while there are some points where I thought this might be a little bit fan-servicey, it actually tied into the story very well. I'm not going to go into detail about that, however, because it might be considered a spoiler, and I don't really want to spoil the story of Shadow of Mordor. What I can say, however, is it's quite possibly the best use of a license in a video game ever. It feels like it could completely fit in the canon, the characters are believable, and it's just so awesome.
It works.
Anyways guys, that's the end of this review. Hope you enjoyed it, and like I said, you really should get Shadow of Mordor. If you just can't get enough of the Tolkienverse, however, why don't you check out gbposters.com and use the code Kieran20 to get 20% off posters and stuff like that. At the moment, I'm really wanting the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies giant poster, because oh my god, that movie is going to destroy me. Anyway guys, I'm Kieran Galaska, otherwise known as Beard Burrito. If there's any games you want me to review, just let me know down in the comments. There's links to everything in the description, and I will see you guys next time I make a video.